Okay.
Don't think I ever hear that word out of him.
Look, as I was saying, as ranking member of the Subcommittee on Federal Spending Oversight and Emergency Management, I take the federal response to the coronavirus very seriously, and I believe it should be executed in an efficient, effective, and fiscally responsible way. And to do true oversight of the federal response, we need to ask questions of government witnesses. Their absence at today's hearing is not only noticeable, but it is disappointing. In addition, as I speak to community leaders, small business owners, and school officials in New Hampshire, it is clear that the Bipartisan CARES Act was a vital lifeline that helped families keep food on the table and allowed some businesses to stay afloat. It's also clear as I talk to people in my state, as well as look at unemployment statistics and other economic data across the country, that additional financial relief is necessary to ensure the economic stability and health of our constituents. And I will note, just to echo something that I think Ms. Bryan said, this is a unique economic crisis because it is, of course, based in a public health one. And until we get to a point where the CDC and OSHA are giving employers clear guidance about how to reopen their businesses safely, it will be hard to enable all the workers who want to get back to work to get back to work. So failing to provide additional financial relief will exacerbate the economic effects of the coronavirus and prevent the United States from moving past this deadly disease. So to Ms. Bryan, the outrageous attempts by this administration to undermine the independence and integrity of the inspectors general are well documented, and I appreciate the work of the Project on Government Oversight and your advocacy for the inspector general community. What can Congress do to support the inspectors general against attacks on their independence to ensure that they are able to continue their work of rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse?
Thank you, Senator Hassan. And as Mr. Borowski noted, really what our IGs need is for-cause protections. Currently, we have a situation, as you're referencing, where the president has been removing IGs ostensibly for doing their jobs well. And what that is doing is not only removing good people from doing good jobs, but it's creating an environment for the existing IGs to really be fearful for, if they do their jobs well, they'll be fired for it. So we believe strongly IGs need the for-cause protections that do exist for other executive branch offices.
Well, thank you for that. The Project on Government Oversight expressed support for my draft legislation to authorize and fund oversight.gov and to provide inspectors general with testimonial subpoena authority. Both of these bills aim to strengthen the oversight capabilities of the inspector general community. Ms. Bryan, how would these tools assist inspectors general in doing their jobs more thoroughly and more transparently as they conduct oversight of the federal coronavirus relief efforts?
This is thank you very much for your work on this, Senator. And this is a request that that inspectors general have had for many years. Their ability to get testimonial evidence has been hampered for years, and it's a very important element in their ability to fight waste, fraud, and abuse. You've also been supportive of giving the Special Inspector General emergency hiring authorities, and that is a very important element that is missing right now. That is something that Neil had as SIGTARP that unfortunately the current Special Inspector General does not have, and that is the main thing that is stopping that office from moving forward. And in terms of appropriations for oversight.gov, right now, really what I hope they can use it towards is creating a portal for the recipient reporting that's currently not being collected by the agencies, but hopefully the Congress will tell OMB that they must be collecting because that's what the CARES Act required. So the IGs can get that data and start getting to work on it.
Well, thank you for that response. And I do now want to turn to Mr. Borowski to follow up a little bit on this. Mr. Borowski, the CARES Act established the Special Inspector General for Pandemic Recovery, modeled on your position as the Special Inspector General for the Troubled Asset Relief Program following the 2008 financial crisis. The Special Inspector General position is key to ensuring that federal funds are spent as intended and delivered to those most in need. Reflecting back on your time as the SIGTARP, what do you wish you had known then to help your office better achieve its oversight goals and prevent waste, fraud, and abuse? And relatedly, what advice do you have for the Special Inspector General for Pandemic Recovery?
I think that perhaps the thing that I had not known was sort of the willingness in Washington of people to not tell the truth to each other. And I think maybe in my early days, I was a little naive, I think, going in. And it was a job that unfortunately taught me a little bit of cynicism. And so I think that was probably, if I could go back and give myself advice, it might be just that. That, and when transparency is being pushed back against, that usually is a very, very good sign of when you need to keep digging, because it is a really significant flashpoint. And so I think that, and I just want to really reiterate what Ms. Bryan said about hiring authorities. That we got a bill passed to Congress to give it to us. Our budget was twice that of what the Special Inspector General has. And I think bringing these two offices into will be very helpful.
Well, and that, I thank you for that. I do think that the need to be direct and factual with each other is critically important. I wanted to highlight that there is a bill, one that I've co-sponsored, and it's quite a mouthful, but it is called the Special Inspector General for Pandemic Recovery Expedited Hiring Authority Act, which would allow the Special Inspector General to set up his office quickly and ensure that he has the resources to conduct this vital oversight. You had expedited hiring authority. Anything else you want this committee to know about how that expedited authority really helped you and why you think it's necessary for us to really be able to do effective oversight of how the coronavirus relief funds are spent?
It would have been impossible for us to be effective without it. There's no other way to say it. You're a new Special Inspector General. You're trying to hire people. You cannot go through the normal hiring process and wait months and months to go through competition and to do that. You need to be able to hire annuitants, people who've retired. You cannot go through that process while hundreds of billions of dollars are going out the door. And we originally got some dispensation from the administration, from OPM, but then you lose your independence. And they started pulling authority from us, and it became a battle. And until Congress stepped in an also a mouthful, it's called the Special Inspector General of the Troubled Asset Relief Program Act of 2009. I have a copy of it hanging on my office wall because it was the reason why we were able to function as an oversight body. We would not have been able to do so without it.
Well, thank you very much. And Mr. Chairman, I just think it speaks to the need for our inspectors general as a general matter, but also in this particular one to really have some teeth behind their authorities. Thank you very much.
Well, first of all, I agree. And again, I'm not looking to pass anything quick, but if we pass something, let's all work together to make sure that we make these corrections so we actually get oversight on this thing, which we're not getting right now.
Thank you.